Hi, my name is Lieutenant Gary Asphalt, and this is everything that happened in the original Modern Warfare 2 campaign, I think. Modern Warfare 2 starts you off in the shoes of Private Allen as he goes through his daily drills, shooting while standing, shooting while crouching, and shooting with an aimbot. Once that's done, you can take your spot at the pit, one of the most iconic areas in video game history, where it's a race against the clock to finish the course and impress General Shepard enough to bring you along on his next mission.
That ain't good enough, Alan. You killed too many civvies.
You did it! One demolition job later, and Shepard recruits Allen into his special ops unit known as Task Force 141. Speaking of, let's check in and see what that team is up to right now, as we jump into the ice boots of Roach Sanderson, who's hanging out with Soap. Or should I say, Cliff hanging out with Soap. I'm funny. The pair sneak into a Russian outpost and retrieve something called an ACS module, which, of course, we all know stands for Assless Chaps, which they can't let fall into the wrong hands. Meanwhile, Private Allen, equipped with a fake mustache and a Russian accent, goes deep undercover, working for Vladimir Makarov, a whore, a mad dog killer for the highest bidder, and our main antagonist of the game.
It will cost you a piece of yourself.
Well, what does that mean, Mr. Oh my god! Oh, Jesus! Holy fuck! What the why? Makarov and his men commit the single worst mass shooting since, last Tuesday in the US on their own country, and then shoots Private Allen on the way out, leaving his American body to be the only one the Russians find, leading to them incorrectly labeling the attack as being done by the United States. But I say incorrectly pretty loosely there, because technically an American general did send an American soldier to participate in that attack, knowing damn well what was about to happen. But you know, that's none of my business. History is written by the victor or some shit. So, in response to the massacre, the Russians invade what Americans hold dearest, our interstate system. Suburban America overrun. Now you're Ramirez, another faceless soldier serving under Sergeant Foley as they need to defend the local Exxon, then TGI Fridays, then a bank, then back to the Fridays, then a Taco Bell, then Burger Town, not King, Burger Town, then Fridays, generic diner, Fridays, back to the Exxon, then run to the finish, and we're saved! Hooray! Now back to the task force, Roach and Soap reunite with the rest of the team, and we're introduced to one of the coolest characters in any video game ever. Meat. Oh, and Ghost? Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of him. Together, they get information that might lead them one step closer to getting Makarov. Honestly, this part really does not matter, because back in the US... Yeah, remember when I said that sprint to the finish and we're all saved, woohoo? Yeah, well, someone didn't sprint fast enough, because fucking DC is overrun and burning to the ground. But Task Force 141 can't be bothered to help out. So, instead, they head to an oil rig to rescue some hostages and gain information on Makarov's nemesis, some guy named Prisoner 627. Mysterious, who happens to be held up in a Russian gulag not too far away. What are the odds? So they lay siege on the prison and fight their way through the showers to respawn in make it to Prisoner 627, who is Captain Price? What are the odds? With Captain Price back in the fray, the team heads to a nearby nuclear submarine, where Price goes rogue and launches a nuke into Earth's orbit to kill this guy specifically, but also to detonate it as it rears its head above DC, causing an EMP strike to disable all electronics in the vicinity to help level the playing field for the Americans. Now, I'm not a doctor, or a nuclear physicist, or even a real sergeant for that matter, but I don't think that actually would... With the help of the EMP, the Americans are able to retake the White House, and the day is saved. For reals this time. Except for what happens immediately in MW3, but we aren't talking about that. In the meantime, Task Force 141 still has some loose ends to tie up. Namely, still tracking down Makarov and bringing him to justice. You know, the one thing they were supposed to do. So they split up, sending Soap and Price out to Afghanistan, and Roach, Ghost, and a bunch of nobodies to Makarov's supposed safe house in Georgia. At the safe house, they're attacked, but find no sign of Makarov. So they decide to just copy his meme folder onto an external hard drive and exfil as more and more of Makarov's men converge on their position. Gonna be honest, things aren't looking great, but they could always be worse. Oh no, they got worse! Shepard turns on the gang and kills Ghost and Roach, setting them on fire. See, Shepard wants new recruits for his army, and of course no one joins the army unless there's a war. So he doesn't actually want to stop Makarov, he wants to fan the flames and start World War III. But why? Why is he like this? Well, we find out that Shepard lost 30,000 men in that nuke that went off in Iraq in the first game. So in order to cope with that immeasurable loss, he kills everyone under his command. Yeah, that checks out. Back to Soap and Price, who learn of Shepard's double cross and find themselves in a firefight between Shepard's men and Makarov's men. So they call in their only actual friend Nikolai to fly them the hell out of there and deliver him straight to Shepard's HQ for revenge. It may sound like a suicide mission, but it is. I thought I was gonna say it isn't. It is. They fight their way through the compound and eventually chase Shepard down in a boat. But wait, his boat is getting in a helicopter. Good thing Price is a one-man army and he noob tubes the shit out of the helicopter. Just as Soap is able to do his part in turning the... Wait, what's going... Oh, son of a... The boat goes over the waterfall and they land on dry ground somehow. Don't think about that too hard because Shepard is still alive and he stabs Soap, leaving him there to die while he and Price go mano a mano. That means hand and hand. Price goes down. All hope is lost. Soap looks around desperately for something to get the upper hand, but all he can find is the very knife giving him the worst heartburn of his life. So he mashes the reload button enough to pay respects to every soldier in this godforsaken war and frees the knife to plunge it into Shepard's eye. Soap and Price lay there, motionless. We fade out. Is this the true price of war? In the end, did it not matter which side you were on? The outcome was to be the same? Is this all a big statement about how armed conflict has no happy end? Oh no, yeah, no, Price is awake. And he and Nikolai just airlift Soap out of there, and that's it, that's the end. Modern Warfare 2, hooray! I don't have infinite ammo anymore. Shit, I can't spam. Oh, that's slow-mo. And with that... Oh! Okay, I spoke too soon.